Have you ever dreamed about what the perfect Naruto game would look like? I for sure did, and also Psyxeruni did, and that's what I'm going to react today. I'm going to react to Psyxeruni's what a perfect Naruto game would look like, and I will give my own opinion, and tell me in the comments what do you think about this idea, and also think about or tell me about what will look like or what your perfect Naruto game will look like. But before that, let's play the intro. Okay, let's see what
So
he
guys,
has to
today
think
on
about.
this Tobirama Tuesday, I wanna talk about like a idea I have for like a perfect Naruto game, like a future
Let's
Naruto
see
game.
what
Well,
is the
actually,
idea.
if you think about it, there's like
my first time
multiple
watching
ways
this.
how this like perfect Naruto game could go. We could do like Boruto's story retelling until like or even a bit further down the time skip. B, we could like do what CC2 actually kind of wanted to do like a retelling again of the Naruto story, but a bit differently with a new engine. Or C, do something way different with the custom character. In my opinion,
Okay, to be honest, my dream Naruto game wouldn't have custom creation because that always makes the game feel less competitive and things like that. And for me, it will have to be a competitive Naruto game in the style of Dragon Ball Fighter Z or something around those lines. Doesn't need to be a 2D fighting game because I love Fighter Z. I know that a lot of people love Fighter Z, but that's the kind of game that makes you need to put a lot of time into, and a lot of people don't like that, so probably go into the route of a more casual game but with a competitive side like Bleach Rebirth of Souls or something like that, but with a good ecosystem or with a good online where you have ranked matches and things like that. But let's
my
see.
perfect game would be the C variant, where we would have like a specific custom made character. The idea would be that the whole story, as well regarding the story could go two ways. A, we could have our special character have its own story, or B, the special character would kind of follow in the lines of like the main story plot, right? But the character would be somehow essential in a fillerish way to the main plot.
If you have seen my previous game, you already know what I think about story mods in anime games. Yes, it's a cool thing. Yes, the Naruto Storm stories were amazing. But for me, if I would rather that they put more time into make the gameplay fun and be a game where you can play a lot of time. Replayability of the game better and work on that more than working on the story mode. If they wanted to cut the story mode at all, for me it's okay, but let's see.
For example, he could somehow help Naruto in some specific sections, for example, defeating specific
he wants
enemies,
to have
helping, for
a
example,
story mode
take Sasuke back, for
around
example, you know? But I think in
custom
my
characters.
case,
Okay.
I would choose the special story for my specific character, which would evolve around the world of the shinobi world.
A special story, a filler story. They usually don't land those, or
no. So the idea would be kind of that, for example, the character creation. The character creation should be kind of in depth, something along the lines of Shinobi Strikers, but instead of using like reused assets, for example, like having Sasuke's haircut, Naruto's, for example, like body, or Sakura's, I don't know, feet. That's a weird ass combo.
I can't argue against that if they want to. They go in the route of having a custom characters, a game like not Storm Connection. This game that he's showing, I'm missing the name now, had a lot of cool things custom wise. They could go in depth in that, and that will be a cool way. Not my favorite way. Tell me in the comments if that was the route that you are looking for in the future Naruto game or not.
We would have like specifically made hairstyles, accessories,
the
clothes,
Shinobi Strike
body types,
showed
and so
us
on.
that they
Basically, we
could
could make
cool-
him like
do
tall,
cool
small.
things.
Basically, the customization should be really rich. And the idea would be that we would make two characters. We would make the PTS versions, and then we would make, like, for example, the Shippuden versions. Because the story, how I
Having
would think of it, would be like that.
Two
The
phases
game
of the
starts,
shirt.
the story starts of you being in the Konoha village, right? And you join the Ninja Academy. And while you're in the Ninja Academy, it would act as like some sort of a tutorial, you know? For example, how the world feels, how to interact with the world, because the game should be like a semi-open world. Not semi.
Yeah, it looks like he went in the route of having a more casual game where you play have in-depth story modes, character customization, and things like that. As I said again, not my dream way. My dream Naruto game will
But
be
actually an
a
open
game
world
that
would have
explores
the Konoha
the
village, the forests, other
look.
villages, and so on and so
The
on.
fights
And
in
the
Naruto,
Ninja
they are
Academy would
really
act, as I already
technical
mentioned, as a
and things like
tutorial.
that.
But not only for like the feel
Fights
on the
like
way how the world
Sasuke versus
feels and how you can
Deidara
interact and what you
and
can
things
do in
like
it.
that are
Actually,
really technical, and or for example Shikamaru versus Idan, and I wanted to an arena fight or a 2D fighter that explored more of that side of the world of Naruto. For me, would be the best way to go.
for the battle
Let's
mechanics,
continue
because you
to
know,
the video.
in the Ninja Academy you have to go like to school and train, and one of those training courses would be like tutorial on how to fight. Regarding the battle mechanics, I'm kind of on the
Okay, let's
fence.
see.
I would say it would be really
Battle
cool if we had
mechanics.
something along the lines of like Clash of Ninja or the Broken Bond / Rise of a Ninja. We wouldn't use the storm mechanics, but we would mostly focus on 1v1 fights.
Storm mechanics.
It would be
No.
more interesting and a bit more challenging as well
Storm
if we included
mechanics?
like depth,
No,
is that the
no.
right word, into the battle mechanics, where it's not just like spamming one button. You
Okay.
also have to know combos, you know, you need to know when to block, when to counter, you know? It could be somehow competitive, and then this specific battle mechanics could be used in the online play. Okay, once
Okay. So battle-wise, he wants more competitive game. One thing that I have to say is that from what is looking like, from what we have seen from this video, it's just a dream because putting so much work into having a lot of customization, having a rich story mode where you have or creating a brand new story mode where you can play with your custom character and things like that, and then have a well developed side in fighting we have a well-developed fighting system.
For example,
just
once you
a
have
dream.
played through the
It will never
tutorial,
happen,
aka the
unfortunately.
PTS section, you as well could maybe do like, well, in the
But
open
yeah,
world,
he
like after
calls
school, for
this
example,
a
you could
perfect
do like
Naruto
specific
game, so-
side missions or mini games. It would be cool if we could bring back like mini games, like the 3 jumping mini games that they had in Storm 1, shuriken throwing, I don't know what else, maybe create something new like log jumping, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff, for example, for the mini games that we could create, I don't know, drawing,
Yes,
drawing would be,
for sure.
drawing mini game would be in the
Naruto
Shippuden
gives,
bar, where Sai, for example, could teach you how to draw, for example, you know.
You
But yeah,
could
that's besides the
implement a
point.
lot of
After the
mini games
PTS
and cool
section,
mini-games.
we basically do a time skip, 3 years, and where we would use
A
our,
time
for
skip?
example,
Okay.
Shippuden created character, which has like now grown up. He has his own team, and the idea now would be, as I already mentioned, would be like either he has its own specific story, or B, it would follow like the original like canon Naruto story, but in the sense that this character would play some kind of
For this idea to go for further, probably putting our custom character inside the Naruto story would be better or more plausible to because doing a full story and full Naruto story and then jumping into full brand new Shippuden story, that's
a role as well in the main
unlikely.
story. Helping Naruto out, doing some specific missions, supporting him, but in my case I would probably choose a special story. Basically kinda making a filler where the main idea revolves around our character, for example. Regarding the story, I'll be honest, I'm not a story writer, but the main thing would be that everything revolves our character. The story needs to have depth, character growth, because it would be cool if in this game we had for our characters, like the characters would be voiced. It wouldn't be just like a mute protagonist. It would have multiple, for example, 3 male and 3 female voices, for example, that you could choose from whenever you create your own character. And then you, for example, would travel around the whole ninja world, do specific missions, for example, at the start, then have like a, basically have it like Storm-ish, where, for example, the main character has its main story.
Yeah.
And then on the side you could do side quests. But regarding the story itself, it probably wouldn't be anything that crazy. Maybe we could do like something like if Naruto has like the Akatsuki, then our specific character would be targeted by another omnibus group because of like our character's past. For example, our father was in this criminal organization or something like that, and now they want to take revenge because of what our father did. Maybe something along those lines. I'm not a story creator. If it is possible that, for example, we have our own team, and the team would consist of 3 characters: you 2 other teammates, and teacher. But what we could do in the single player stuff would make it like kind of some sort of a co-op, for example, where people could join your story. For example, your friend could join in on your character's story and help you finish off these side missions and main missions together, making it some sort of a co-op / single player experience. Another thing what would be cool is that, for example, whenever you have like these 1v1 fights, it would be the same as like Clash of Ninja / Rise of a Ninja Broken Ball. But once you're traveling around the world, instead of having 1v1 fights, we could do something along the lines of like Uzumaki Chronicles or maybe Storm, for example, Impact, where we would have like this Musou type. I wouldn't say that we need like hundreds of enemies attacking you at one time, but like a dozen, and then you have like this free roam battle style of gameplay. For these,
yeah, that's unlikely to have all of that. Have a hack and slash part, a full in-depth 1v1 fights or fighting system, competitive fighting system, and then have a brand new story mode. One thing that I would add that probably would make it easier to implement would be to, instead of focusing on custom shared and removing the custom shared feature altogether, I would probably make the story mode be around, instead of being around Naruto, being about around another character. Why not doing a story mode around Hashirama, where they could try to contact with Kishimoto and create new paths, or make the story feel like that could be really a part of the canon story of Naruto, but counting or telling the story of another character that didn't got that many screen time,
specific sections,
something like that.
That would be regarding the single player stuff. There's a lot of things you can actually do with the single player stuff, but that mostly revolves around the story. Regarding online play, well, the online play, as already mentioned, will mostly revolve around the 1v1 fights. Maybe we could as well do, like, for example, like 3v3 in like this like Musou type of battle as well. Of course, the online should have regular matches, ranked matches, tournaments mode, style, King of the Hill, team battles as well, for example, and we would have like this kind of ranking board. The good thing would be that if, for example, this game would be updated semi-regularly, for example, at least for the most part, probably for the multiplayer stuff, fixing bugs, introducing new features, fixing some features, optimizing characters. Oh, actual characters, we have to talk about the characters as well. And as well, during down the line of the game's like lifespan, it will be regularly updated, and as well some new DLCs would be added. But instead of like milking the way how it is like in these Arena Fighters, where we have like, you would get like story related DLC, and those new characters, for example, would be introduced in the single player DLC, basically. Instead of you just buying one character, you buy the single player stuff and you get 2 of them, basically. But of course, I know that most people wouldn't probably buy it, because most people don't care about single player stuff, they want to play online. So we would have the option of having like individual like character packs as well, for example. The idea is that we update the single player stuff and we give something for the online players. Right. Regarding the character roster, well, in my opinion, I think we should have the character roster something.
One thing that I can say that for thinking while hearing is all of its comments, one perfect way for me to make these really, or that they could make a perfect Naruto game, they will have like the art style and things like that, and fluidity of fights, something along those lines of Naruto Storm that we already have. The fighting mechanics and things like that to be like the Gekido Ninja Tyson special and things like that, where I think that in that game the fighting mechanics are way better than any Storm and things like that. And then the online will of course have ranked matches and things like that, being to 1v1 setup. They could make it a team setup with 3v3 or even 4v4 to stay to go the way that the teams are in Naruto. Probably will be like that, and okay, in DLCs they wanted the extra story mode. I wouldn't go that far because that's not realistic, I think. But going for something like Naruto, One Piece Pirate Wars, where they add characters and then add a brand new play game mode or something like that, probably will be more plausible.
Along the lines of some PTS characters, and then the majority if Shippuden characters. But since in my case I think the story shouldn't go further than the Pain's arc. Basically the story would go until the Pain's arc, and that's it, because in my opinion
Pain arc is the best
is peak until that arc, and after that Pain Assault arc it kind of slowly drops, at least for me. And I think that the game surrounding these few first arcs of the story would be peak, and the characters would basically resemble all of the main cast, that resemble those people that are present in the arcs, all of the Katsuki members, Jiraiya's, Tsunada's, all of the teams that are in the Konoha. And as well, then we would have our custom character, which we could use as well online. We could play with other characters like specific kind of the same thing like with Shinobi Strikers, where you could either play with like specific ninjas or with your own custom character. But yeah, that would be kind of the game I would like to see, but I don't know, there's a lot of things that we could change, they could add, and there's a lot, like the Naruto license, there's so many possibilities that you can do. I mean, it's just freaking endless. But yeah guys, what do you think of all this? What kind of...
Well, as I said during the video, yes, this idea will probably be one, if not my dream Naruto game, will be a game that I will buy for sure. I will play a lot, stream a lot, do a lot of videos on, but I don't feel like it will be realistic. And probably in the future, soon I will probably do a video in this kind of style where I will put together my dream Naruto game, and I will share it with you guys, and I will try to go into a more realistic way than just a dream Naruto game. We'll try to make a game that is possible if they want to and is realistic, but also it's a dream style of Naruto game. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe if you are not yet. Tell me in the comments what will be your dream Naruto game and what you think about the idea of let me recall his name, Psyxeruni, and yeah, that's everything for today's video. Hope you like it, and see you in the next one. Bye.